Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is November 17th, 2024. It is a Sunday. Sorry, I I got caught up responding to a repugnant person on my Facebook page, and I'll pass that on as soon as I get this typed out. But yeah, it is what it is. Let people jump in. Laurel says, looks good and sounds good. Thank you, Laurel. Okay. Here we go. Barbara Oliver had posted up earlier on a post that I had made. I said, if a mother can kill her unborn child that she does not then she does not want, why can't a father? The child is not the body of either of them. It's the same pro-abortionist argument thrown back at him. Oh, it's a woman's body. Well, the child isn't. So if the mother, who is not the body of the child, can kill it, why can't the father? Neither should be able to, but that's what it is. Now this woman, Barbara, says the woman is carrying the child, nursing it, caring for it. It's affecting her business, career, her life. I say she gets the most of the decision, if not all, unless the guy wants to do all that, but he is still not carrying it and nursing it. Sorry, guys, you are just a sperm donor until you can take full responsibility. Women who give birth generally have not taken full fucking responsibility either. They either have to have their extended family take care of them and provide for them, or Big Daddy G come in and provide for them, or they have a husband. The husband is ideal. So the idea that what she's doing is basically demeaning a man's role in the process. I'm not going to have it. Now, I didn't notice it. It's just 3 hours she posted up. I'm not going to have that. Both men and women. No, a woman shouldn't have the majority say of whether or not the child is murdered. It shouldn't be murdered. She doesn't get majority say. So Joyce writes, your comment to Barbara, your comment is repulsive. I worked with the court system in years, and judges have the option, of the opinion. The children would go to the mother, and nothing to do with how great the dad is. So on, blah, right. Because men traditionally, am I cutting out? 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Let me look at the analytics and the health stream. Stream says excellent. Yeah, go ahead and try it and reboot, because I'm showing good signals both ways. I'll wait until you come back. You let me know, since you're the only one up there. Well, there's a couple others. You let me know when you've rebooted, and then I'll continue on with this. Well, actually, I can't, because I got a lot to cover. So hopefully you'll reboot soon. The court systems and everything is weighted towards the woman. Jacqueline says, not here, all good. Yeah, I think she's got a signal issue on her end. Men have historically been given the shaft when it comes to women. And no, women shouldn't get the ultimate say whether or not they abort the child. Unless the child is an actual physical threat to her health, to her life, not even health. Oh, she might get sick. No, it must be a physical threat. The same standards that apply if the child was 14 years old should apply whether it's in the womb. It's that simple. So Barbara writes back, I don't want it both ways. I wouldn't have a child unless I wanted it. But if I got pregnant before I believe the decision is mine, the father can have input to my decision, but the final decision is mine. For the reasons I stated, and who are you to determine if I or anyone else should have a child? It's not saying, hey, welcome back, Laura. It's not saying whether you should have a child or not. It's if you are pregnant, yes, you should give birth to that child. It's alive. So I wrote Barbara, who is to decide who can eliminate another person based on desires or convenience? If you can murder your unborn child to not deal with giving birth and raising the child, though you could give it up for adoption, why should a man not be able to remove his spouse in the same way as to not deal with marriage? What's the difference? If you can murder a child so that you are now not the parent of that child, but that child is already alive, it's just not born, then why shouldn't a man, or likewise a woman, just be able to do the same exact thing to their spouse as to not have to deal with marriage? It's the same exact logic. I said, and for you to think of men as only a sperm donor, yes, as otherwise stated, that is repugnant. And it is it demeans a man's role in both the union as well as in family and society as designed. That said, this is your only warning, and I ask others to just let it drop as well. People have had their say, and it is clear where they stand. Further back and forth exchanges will not further the matter, only make it worse. Thank you all for your understanding. The idea that a woman can say, since she is the one that's carrying the child, that the man is just a sperm donor and she gets the ultimate say of whether or not the child is murdered within her womb is pure evil. It's pure evil. There's no other words for it. Oh, because a man's not, he's not taking care of the yeah, he's out there working. He's out there working. You think that role is, again, resource acquisition is very important. Protection of the family unit is very important. To dismiss the man as nothing but because the woman takes care of the child when it's born, she's a built-in Slurpee machine. Mother Nature designed, the Lord designed, women to provide for the nourishment of the child when they're born. Men don't have that capability. That doesn't mean men don't have a say, and all they are is a sperm donor. No, that's not all we are. That demeans men and their role in the process, and I won't have it. Not having it. And if she or anybody else has a problem with that, well, I don't rightly care. I've got this saying, and I've told the missus, and she agrees. There's not a single person that follows my content that I rely upon. Not a single person. Again, I'm very careful in my words. I rely on those who follow my content, and I'm very thankful for it. But there's not a single person that follows my content. If that one person went, it would matter. Less so if they're trolls, idiots, or assholes. Not having it. I booted a political page. Yeah, he puts liberty in the title. And he wants to say that I don't want little girls playing in boys' sports because my testicles haven't dropped. No, it has nothing to do with it. But he thinks being edgy on my page is gonna get him eyeballs and followers. He has like 140 some odd people following his content. It's like, you're a fucking troll. That's all you are. And you're coming to my page, and he was following it. Nope, sorry, gone. Don't put up with that shit. Do not put up with that shit. Nor do I have to. I don't get paid enough. Like I said, if I was rolling in the dough, I'd put up with a lot more shit. I don't get paid. Not really. Not really. Posted up my photography picture of the day. I put up a picture of me. It was a selfie from me out street shooting in the wintertime back some years. I love reflections. Let's go here. Let's see if I can pull this up. There it is. Doesn't get any bigger. Let's see here. Is it getting any bigger? Oh, I can't make it bigger. I don't have a mouse pad. I don't have a touchpad. I love reflections. I love reflections. So that was my shared photography. It's like, well, it's off center. Of course it is. It's by design. It's by design. Because if it was centered, you wouldn't be able to see the frame of the window. It'd just look like a bunch of washed stuff in reverse. So you can tell it's a store window. But, yeah. That was my picture for today. Let's go to my show starters. My show starters. Jacqueline wanted to hear about the Franken-Zebo. Jacqueline says you should give lessons on how to stand up for your values the way you do. That is what Americans need. Yeah, stand up for your values. Don't take shit. I let people talk, and that's fine, as long as that other discussion. Yeah, you're going a little bit too far. You're going to start demeaning men. Nah, you've gone too far. But so far, I've left her comments up there. I leave people's comments until they get the door. They get the boot. And if they get the boot, they've deserved it, and then their comments disappear because that's the way the system works. I'm not deleting them. They're still there. Nobody can see them. I can see them. I can go to the post and go, show hidden comments, because hidden is, I can either hide them or Facebook hides them when you put somebody on ban. So, it's still there. But, oh, Franken-Zebo. Let me get... Jacqueline says, I love that photo. It tells the whole story. I love to walk around in your photos. Yeah, I like my photos to say something. But yeah. And I'm not mad. I look mad in it. I'm not mad. That's my resting bitch face. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Just, I'm intense. I can be very intense. Franken-Zebo. Stop it, Jacqueline. You wanted to know about the Franken-Zebo. I had posted up. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Post this back up again. This is last night's pour. Power signature release. Okay. And that's the fire pit. It's like a solo, but it's not a solo. But it's like a solo. It's actually cheaper, less expensive than a solo, and gets better reviews. It actually burns more efficient. And that was shortly after I got it started. So she's building up heat. So there it is. That's my pour from last night. Power signature release. I love that. It's an Irish. And there's me. Now I'm going to keep this picture up. I talk about the Franken-Zebo. I said I'm out in the Franken-Zebo. Now, those who follow my content, especially the show, they know all about the Franken-Zebo. The Franken-Zebo. Well, y'all know Frankenstein's monster. And everybody calls, oh, Frankenstein. No, it's Frankenstein's monster. It's not Frankenstein. Frankenstein's the doctor. And the doctor, he cobbled together a bunch of parts of dead people and then imparted life into the beast, and it became the monster. So it's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein's monster. Well, this right here is the Frankenzebo. It's not the Frankenstein, it's the Frankenzebo. Now, what happened is years ago, Lord, good, it had to have been about 10 years ago, I put up the first gazebo. It's in my backyard. And in the fall, winter, and spring, it's gusty wind. Very, very windy. See, wind isn't the problem. Gusts are the problem. If you have a constant wind, things will be fine. It's the constant blowing, not blowing, blowing, not blowing. It's the gusts that tears shit apart. Well, I had lost a couple gazebos. They were the ones, the nice ones, but the ones that you buy at like Home Depot and stuff like that. They're nice. They're nice. But they ain't built for gusts. So I think it was my third gazebo I put back there, and it had these corner brackets that it was made out of, and it was a little sturdier than the rest, but it was still that type of gazebo. You know, it's got the canvas cover on the top, and they're nice, they're pretty, but they still don't last with the wind. Well, wind got to it again. So like somebody bench. And then snow got on it and then caved in the top. So the next spring what I did is I added some braces, and I popped it back up, and I added some braces, and it was fine for a while, and then wind would tear it again. I'd add some more braces and I'd get going. Well, long story short, the only thing left of that gazebo are, you can sort of see it in the, let's see here, you sort of see it right over here on the right-hand side. You see the 2x4 construction here. It's a 4x4 corner post with 2x4 bracing around the sides, and then 2x4 around the header area, and then the joists for the roof and stuff like that. So the only thing that's left of this gazebo are the 4 metal corner pieces. But those, there's no structural support. They're just still there, because as I built up the gazebo around the structure, as parts kept coming off, I ended up with what it is now, which is basically it's a 2x4 structure with 4x4 corner posts and heavy duty white tarp over the top and heavy duty white tarp around the sides. Hence, Frankenzebo. It does its job. This fall, in fact, a couple weeks ago, we put the final one on the front. We put the final tarp across the front. So now we can just close it off. And there's a little bare areas. There's about a 2-foot area, about a foot and a foot, if around each corners, that the wind can come in, and it's fine. But it's much better than it was. So we can be in there and be nice and toasty with a fire in the fire pit. So that Jacqueline is the Frankenzebo. It's the affectionate name for our lovely gazebo. Call it the Frankenzebo. The name is apt. The name is apt. Okay, let's get back to our bullet points here. Get some coffee. Tonight's coffee is hazelnut cream from New England brand. Hazelnut cream. It's good. Had chicken and dumplings for dinner. They were yummy. Very good. Snot balls. She says, Jacqueline says, so you didn't buy a gazebo at the store. You basically bought a gazebo pattern. No, we bought the gazebo. No, we bought the gazebo. We bought the gazebo, and it was fine all summer. Yeah, we bought the gazebo, and then we just had to build from there. No, we didn't buy a pattern. I wish we had just bought a pattern, but no. She says, thank you so much for the story. Well, you're welcome. That's the Frankenzebo. So now when you hear about the Frankenzebo, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's a big white gazebo in my backyard. It's like 11 by 12. So it's good enough room for folks to get around the fire pit in the center. About 11 by 12. 6 foot, over 6 foot to the rafter on the top, and to the just where you walk underneath it. It's got to be at least close to like 7 feet, 6.5. I don't know. I don't look up. No, there's got to be maybe 6.5. Can't be much over taller than my head. And then it peaks. And I didn't do a 4-corner peak. I just did a straight peak, just a single one. But okay. So that's that. That's the Frankenzebo. Yeah, I wish we had just bought a pattern. It'd save some money. Boy, we just went out in the middle of one storm with my youngest, man. The Frankenzebo was like partial. It was in partial. Just some of the stuff. We had a major windstorm, and I'm like, come with me out here. I ran and grabbed some. I was going to grab some 2x4s, and I didn't have enough, so I had to run to Home Depot real quick in the middle of a windstorm, get some 2x4s, and come back home and say, help me put this up. So my youngest is helping me hold up part of the structure while I'm putting in bracing and just cutting supports and screwing it in. It was quite the thing. It's beautiful. It's ugly. It's a hillbilly gazebo, but it's beautiful in its own way. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let me get back to my bullet points here. Okay, we're still good. We're still good on time. Okay, copyright claims and social media monetization. I woke up this morning and I get a copyright claim on one of my live streams. Basically this, but when it was on Facebook, and it was 2 years ago. And there was this jackwagon supposed distribution company that was claiming about 2 minutes, two clips, about 2 minutes of my content. Now, I wasn't going to go and check what it was that was in it. I know it was bullshit, because this was a bullshit name. One of the biggest scams out there now is people are creating these distribution and rights protection things, and they claim copyright. So they'll scour social media, and they'll make copyright claims all over the place. Now, it only takes a few of them, just a small fraction of them, to not be disputed. And they make money, so it's easy money. Well, mine got hit. Now on Facebook, if there's a copyright strike and a dispute, the copyright holder, and see, they don't even check. All you do is need to make a claim. The person that's defending their work has to prove that the other person doesn't have copyright. Isn't that fucked up? The copyright holder doesn't have to prove anything. They just have to make the claim, which is why most of the time they're not the copyright holder. On Facebook, they give the quote-unquote copyright holder 70 or 80% of the revenue for that particular video. And the one who created it gets 20%. Well, how the hell does that work? A 2-hour video with 2 minutes worth of stuff that somebody else claims is theirs, and you're going to give them 80% of the monetization? That's some horse shit. It's a scam. That's how these people, and these social media platforms have to correct that shit. Because a lot of us, we don't have the time or energy to go ahead and dispute this shit. So I just let that one roll. It's like, whatever. I'm not making any money off of that anyways. It was a video for 2 years ago. Doesn't get views. People on Facebook don't watch long form videos. So they don't make money. People on YouTube watch long form videos like this. They don't on Facebook. Unless they're actively a part of the show. Folks who watch my content, they remember when I did I aired the section of the Who's On First, the Laurel and Hardy one. And I pulled it off of YouTube, off of a random page. wasn't the page of like MGM or whoever owns the copyright for it. It's a random page. So I aired it. I got a hard strike on YouTube, a hard strike. You've got a strike and you got a hard strike. A hard strike is they demand the video come down. And if you don't take it down, they make YouTube pull it down and they get a strike. And you get like 2 strikes and your channel's gone. Now, copyright claims happen all the time. The average copyright claim isn't a hard strike. They'll claim copyright and they get, like on YouTube, on Facebook, they get a percentage of, but I don't think that it's the whole thing. But they get a percentage of the revenue coming in. And even if they do, they might even get the whole thing. So creators go, do I take it down anyways or whatever? Either way, the only thing they're doing is they're losing some money. But they keep their channel up. I've only had one copyright strike on YouTube, and it was for that. Hey, Peggy, she says, hey there. Yes, I remember the Who's on First Back. Yeah, I had to take that whole thing down. It's like, really? Really? The hell was that? 1950? When was it? 1950? Late 1940s, early 1950s? Let's see here. No, earlier than that. 1938. Who the hell's here? Oh, Donna. Hey, is that you, Donna? I'm going to try. I'm going to trust this is Donna. Donna. This is Donna. She hasn't been in the room for a while. Is that you, Donna? Your mic is off, Donna. Yeah, 1938. It's like, really? They're doing copyright claims for something that was put out in 1938? Holy crap. You there, Donna?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Say something again.
Yeah, well, I tried to get in, and it told me I had to update.
Oh, okay.
So I went out and did that, and with my machine, it takes a half a Congress and hookah dance to
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be hitting on that one, too. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I had to go out there and look it up.
Oh, you see, you're talking about what happened in New Zealand, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I'll touch on that. I'll get you the history. I don't know if you looked it up, you got some of the history, but you probably didn't get all of the history because I've looked at several sources and they're kind of like, sort of here and sort of there. I'm going to give the real history.
It's probably lost a lot of its content.
Nah, I'll tell you what it's for. Some people said it's just it's showing respect. There's a video this guy did a hookah dance for. No, it's not. He did a hookah dance for his kid coming back from being deployed in the airport.
Yeah,
stop it.
Thrown it into funerals and weddings.
Yeah, it's a fucking look at me is what it is now. But
exactly.
we'll get to that later. I just wanted you to say something so that I could see whether you're echoing and you're not. Yeah. So okay, now let me continue. Okay. Where was I? Peggy says we know that you that could be it. Could be it, Peggy. Okay, so that's what it is with copyright. So, okay, my next one is the Maori and hookah. That's the next in line. You following my show line up there, Donna? Or did that just happen to come out? Donna? Now she's quiet. She said, you said be quiet. Donna.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah. Were you
fill up my?
No, that's okay. It's like, okay, I asked her a question and now she's not there.
Oh yeah. Right.
Now it's the Maori and the hookah is the next on my list. Are you following my bullet points?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like, wow, that was next in line. I didn't know if it was a coincidence, but okay. Yeah. Let's talk about
tonight's coffee is coffee.
Yeah, it's hazelnut cream.
Well, for me, it's coffee.
Coffee. Okay, the Maori and the hookah. Now, let me tell you about them. The Maori, for those that are uninformed about the Maori. The Maoris are kind of like Samoans. They're both Polynesian. Okay. But Samoa, they have the Samoan Islands. Okay. The Maori doesn't have the Maori Islands anymore. They're just Polynesians. And what the Maori did is they sailed around and they arrived at what is now New Zealand. And when they got to New Zealand, they fucking wiped out the people that lived in New Zealand. Wiped them out. Brutal. Freaking brutal. Okay, so they're colonizers, and they literally did all of the atrocities that now the left likes to think that the Europeans did, but didn't do. The Maoris did that. The Maoris also used heads as form of payment for things. So they would.
Well, did they shrink heads?
No, the shrunken heads were.
That was African.
Yeah, I think that there was like some African and some islands around Africa, but it wasn't the Maoris.
Okay.
But the Maoris would go and they would mummify the heads. They wouldn't shrink them; they'd be mummified heads, and they would use them like money. They actually bought guns from the Europeans using heads. I mean, the Maoris were, think of like, you know how bad the Aztecs were and the Mayans were?
Yeah.
The Maori were worse. They were worse. So, okay, so they wiped out. And every group that came up into New Zealand, except for the ones they wanted to momentarily trade with, were brutally massacred. Now, they had the hookah dance. See, here comes the haka dance. Haka dance. Haka, H-A-K-A, haka dance.
Yeah, haka, I guess.
Haka dance. And the haka dance is not a way of honoring. It's a way of intimidating. If you watch the dance, you go, how is that honoring? They stick out their tongue like, basically think of like Viking berserkers dancing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And it's meant to intimidate their foe. So what they used to do is they'd get out on the beach when the people were there, or they're about to ready to attack a village or whatever, and they'd get their warriors all lined up, and they'd do these haka dances. And if you've ever seen them, well, they're entertaining, but it's like they're exaggerated and really pissed off, and facial expressions and squatting and smashing their chest and smashing their legs, and it's all complete bullshit. Okay? The Maori can't fucking wipe their own ass now. The Maori were dominated when the Europeans came. The Europeans came and kicked their ass. Decimated them, but didn't wipe them out because they weren't the Maori. Well, now, since New Zealand has been infected like most of the modern left liberalism that the West has, they got to kiss the Maoris' asses. And the Maoris are given outsized authority and power in New Zealand. They are a small minority. The Maoris are a very small group of people, but they're given a much bigger voice. Well, they in front of, I guess is what they would, I could get this wrong. I think it's their equivalent of Parliament this last week.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. And they were protesting a bill that was being presented by the New Zealand government. And what this bill said is, you know, all those rights and privileges that we're giving the Maoris, we're going to give them to everybody. That's what the bill said. And the Maoris got pissed off. So they started doing these haka dances in the middle of Parliament, looking like a bunch of fucking clowns. You guys lost. Why they put up with this shit is beyond me. So again, and here's another story. You know, you watch the Maori, the New Zealand teams. The New Zealand teams, when they send them around the world to compete, before they compete in the games, they do these haka demonstrations. They look like a bunch of fucking idiots.
I think it's entertaining.
Oh, it's entertaining, but it's stupid. But it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
annoying as
it's
hell
like
with
pissed
the
off
noise.
cheerleaders. And they fucking lose every time they're in these matches. So they go in there with their warrior dance. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can pull up a haka dance. Haka dance. Here we go. We'll do the haka dance in Parliament. Watch this. Watch this shit. That ain't it. This is a YouTube commercial. Now watch this shit, folks.
Long our 40 if 6 votes
Okay, now
opposed.
they look impressed, don't they?
The House is suspended until the ringing of the bells. The gallery is to be cleared.
What a bunch of clowns. Like a bunch of pissed off kids. Number one, like I said, they lost. That's like Indian tribes in the United States now going, did you know that there's still tribes that are saying they're still at war? No, you're not. You're not at war. And you got your asses kicked. And this is the same thing. Oh, these poor innocent people, they were the victims of the Europeans. No, they were the scourge of Polynesia. The same way as most of the Native American tribes.
Khan
What's that?
type. The Genghis Khan type.
No, they're worse than Genghis Khan. He did a lot of atrocities, but there was a method behind his madness. But yeah, they were worse than Genghis Khan, but they did a lot of the same type of stuff. But yeah, the same way as like the tribes that are like venerated in the American subculture and culture. It's like, oh, they're the poor victims. It's like, no, they were the last holdouts, and none of the other tribes liked them. Why? Because they were barbarous and they butchered every other tribe. They hated them. They're not now suddenly the victims, and the Maoris aren't either. And the Maoris are an extreme minority in New Zealand, and they're allowed to act like petulant little children. Oh, throwing their tantrums. Oh, yeah, you look fearsome. Mighty fearsome you are. No, stop it. Get out of here. So that's the story between the Maoris and the haka dance. I keep calling it hookah. Hookah, that's tobacco, right?
That's a Indian culture thing.
The hookah. Who did the hookah? It's a Middle Eastern or mid-Asian. Yeah, it's a smoke, right? It's a water pipe.
Yeah.
It's a water pipe. A hookah. They have hookah lounges. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this is a haka. Yeah, they're all over the place now, hookah lounges. My son used to go to hookah lounges. But yeah, so that's the story of the Maori and the haka dance. It's like, just stop it. Stop it. You just want to run up and just lay him out. How do you like that? Oh, fearsome anger. Yeah, we see your anger. We see your anger. Go away. So that's the Maori and the haka dance. So there's everybody's story. Electoral College is my next one. The Electoral College, states, cities, and locust.
You know what gets me?
What gets you there, Donna?
Is these states, there's like 3 of them now, I think, and there's more of them looking towards the ranked.
Yeah, ranked voting is a bunch of horse shit.
To me, that's just a get around, trying to get around this electoral college.
Well, yeah, it is, but it isn't. For those that are not quite aware of ranked voting. Alaska tried it, and now they're trying to repeal it. They're like, no, this shit doesn't
Yeah,
work.
they're not having much success in
It's
doing it.
it's meant it's got a good idea. The idea is, Peggy says, that kind of display on a big reason why most of this country is yeah, exactly. Okay, so ranked voting is the idea that if you just have ranked voting allows you to have, instead of one candidate per party, you can have several candidates per party. So instead of like 3 or 4 candidates, or 5 at most, which is what you generally see in elections, you can have 10 or more. And then you vote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you vote who you want the best, and then you vote on down. And then the votes are tabulated, and the person that has the most votes, they win. But it might not be the one that got the most votes in each part, if that makes sense. You can actually be a third favorite choice, but because of the way people rank them, you could have more votes. So it's horseshit. And Alaska tried that, and they're like, no, it ain't working. So ranked voting's got to go.
Doesn't Vermont do that now?
I cannot
Maine?
speak on that.
Maine and Vermont?
No, I don't think Maine does ranked voting. Let's see here.
No, I thought there was. I think Vermont's the other one. Or,
I'm gonna do a search right here. What
there's
ranked choice voting? Which ones are? Come on now, show me.
ranked choice.
Yeah. Ranked choice voting. See if Wikipedia has anything. They're not always the most accurate, but
Oh God, I don't trust Wikipedia to save my
well,
soul.
let's see here. Okay, Maine has some statewide elections as ranked. Some, but not all.
Yeah, because I know that they have I think they only have 3 electoral votes, and I know one portion got 1, and
Yeah, I'm not sure that applies. I don't sure that's. I think the biggest issue with Maine is they were trying to do winner take all. So it's just weird. There's some states like okay, here's a state. New Mexico has local opt-in and municipals opt-in. Colorado does. Is this what state? This is Idaho. No, this is Idaho. Utah. So Alaska, the only two that had it as a major thing is Alaska and Maine. And then most of them just don't have anything. And some have local elections in some jurisdictions. So that would be Vermont. There you go, Vermont. Just some local. Massachusetts, New York, Maryland, Rhode Island, Illinois.
I know there's several states that are
Washington State, Oregon, California, and God, I always forget the name of that state. It's to the left. Is it Minnesota? Minnesota. There we go. Minnesota. I always forget the name of Minnesota. It's west of Wisconsin. I'm looking at the map here. I can guarantee that most Americans, if they looked at the American map and you say, what's this state, they couldn't tell you what it is. I'm pretty good at it. But, so ranked voting. Yeah, major no.
I think it's they're a trying to get around the electoral.
Well,
college.
no, like I said, though, there's reasons behind it, and it just doesn't work out the way they think it's going to. But let me get to the Electoral College. I have said for a long time that states should have been set up with an electoral college system just like the nation, for the exact same reason that we have a national electoral college. And that's because it would prevent large population areas from dominating the political will of the area. That's why we have the electoral college, so that states that have higher populations, generally on the east and west coasts, would not dominate politically.
Right.
Well, we need this for states.
Exactly.
So that the cities do not dominate. If you look, even in blue states, you go to a blue state and actually look at the map, a lot of blue states around the cities are red. The cities just dominate because there's more people there. So therefore, you get like California, New York. The big ones would be California, New York, Washington, Oregon, are the biggest ones hit. Are the biggest ones hit. Now there's other ones. Texas is getting hit right now because you got places like Austin and other major cities, and they're getting bigger and they're getting more votes. Texas is red. Nah, Texas is purple. They're just
Austin is blue.
Oh, blue is, you can't get any bluer than blue in Austin.
And Dallas is getting that way.
Well, Dallas, go ahead and put Dallas, Houston, Austin, the big three. Their blue is, you can't, Austin is without a doubt. But you look at the other blue states and it's much the same way. It's the cities. And if the cities can gain, that's why Wyoming's having problems. That's why Colorado turned blue. It's because of the cities. They got a couple cities and those cities exploded and they outnumber the people that live in the rest of the state. That's why I can never live in Colorado. I love Colorado. I'd move to Colorado before I moved down to my next bed, of course, as you know, is Montana. But I prefer the beauty of Colorado better. But I can't live there. Politically, it's not suitable for me. So Colorado is about dead. Wyoming is fighting. Shit. A lot of the Republicans in the areas, they're really Democrats. And we've talked about this in the show, and we had Dr. Tom on the show back a couple years ago. And he's out of Wyoming, and he's like, yeah, it's a lot of the Republicans, they're just Democrats. They're wearing an R. Montana's the same way. You've got Missoula, which is their biggest city, I think. No, Billings is their biggest city, followed by Missoula.
Billings.
What's that?
Billings, I believe,
right.
is bigger.
Billings, I believe it goes Billings, Missoula, Bozeman. So you got Billings, Missoula, Bozeman, and then you got Helena. Helena, I think, would be the next one, and I think they might be purple, but whatever. But yeah, those big cities. Although surprisingly, Billings kind of fairly conservative. Bozeman and Missoula are blue as you can be. And
I
and
love
they've
the picture of the new picture. Have you seen the new picture of the red portions and the blue portions
of the map? Yeah, but take that with a grain of salt, because here you go. They're it depends upon what map you're. It's best if they do it by county. If you see the map that has by counties, that's the more that's
by county. It's just unbelievable.
Don't do it by state, because that's very misleading. And I've told the people about that during
county.
this, because there's a lot of states that just barely won for Kamala, but they show up as blue, but they ain't blue states.
No,
New Hampshire's won. They thought it would flip. Well, New Hampshire just elected a Republican governor. But by about 5 points, Kamala took the presidential election. It's just a weird state. So you can't. If you see the map, red versus blue, go by county. Get the one that does by county. It's a much more accurate picture of the United States. And I tried it, and that's why I also put up in the post the other day that yes, there are conservatives in blue states. I know that there are. So yeah, county. If red, blue, view the county. That's more specific. I'm in a weird area. I'm kind of on a line. It's in New Hampshire's the same. It's where the cities are. That's blue. Every place else is red. But the cities have more people. That they have more people. That's why I said we need electoral college systems in each state.
That's why they want to change it.
Well, the left wanted to get rid of electoral college altogether, but then Trump won the electoral college and the popular vote.
Yeah. for
But they
years.
wanted to pack the courts too. Now they don't want to pack the courts.
Well, now they're kind of back.
Yeah.
They're really.
They want to get rid of
quiet.
the filibuster. No, now they don't want to get rid of it. So the left is not about rules and law. It's about winning, period. They don't care about the Constitution. They will modify the rules momentarily to get what they want now. If they were hoping that during this cycle, which would have been Bush, there's a Freudian slip, Biden and Harris, and then maybe Harris. They were hoping they'd be able to, for those 8 years, be able to push forth again, get rid of the things they don't want, get rid of the filibuster, hold the majority, and then if they did that, if they accomplished that, the Republicans wouldn't be able to win anything after that. Nothing. There's no way to do it.
Yeah.
Orion
they'd be
says,
quiet
and
about it
redo
now.
the Senate like it was. Oh,
Yeah,
you want?
they'd be
Yeah, they
quiet
want.
now
Yeah,
because Trump
yeah. They
won
want
the
your.
popular vote.
Yeah, Orion's talking about where everything that passed had to be what had to be a
60.
2/3, 6-2, 6-3, some shit like that. It's like a 2/3. I think it was like a 2/3 vote.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, Orion? Yeah, they wanted to go back to that. I think they should. I really do. I think they should.
I do too.
Because I've said this, the government was set up in opposition. It's not so that they could get along. It's so that they would stop shit from happening. So that only the most important things. That's why I think, oh, bipartisan, we're going to work together. No, fuck that. We don't want them working together. We want as little done as possible.
Well, that's why back years they reduced it to majority.
Yeah. Oh, Orion said senators were elected by district, not statewide. Oh, yeah, that goes back even further. That goes to the original. People don't realize that the people of the states did not send their senators. The representatives in the state sent the senators to Washington. It was done different. It's like, wow. But yeah. So that's the Electoral College, states and locust. So the left goes and they infest the cities in these other states and they blow them out of proportion. They eat up all the resources and then vote and turn the state into the places that they left, which will be a freaking wasteland. An Electoral College system within states would take care of that problem.
That
Okay.
ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen. It should. It should. Next bullet point, The View. the ladies who lose their freaking mind.
They
Now,
haven't left yet.
no, they haven't left. There's talk. What they want to do is The View wants to hire in voices of opposition to balance the panel. And no.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that would
They've-
be a cat fight.
No, they've tried that. They've hired, pseudo conservatives or
Yeah,
what I'd consider moderate conservatives at best. And they get decimated because they'll put one against four.
Six,
How many
five,
are there?
whatever.
Five other gals,
Yeah, whatever they are.
and they get decimated. It's what happened with Meghan McCain. Every commercial break she'd have to go in the back and cry because they beat the shit out of her. It's not, you don't need to, here's my thought on
I
The
think
View.
they ran her out one
They
time.
they
didn't
did, and they've run off every conservative or pseudo conservative that they had on the panel to give the appearance of a balanced spectrum. No.
Oh, right,
So
balance.
what happens is the hell, you got me off track there, Donna. Yeah, so whatever. Oh, thank you. Thank you to myself. I remembered it. I don't care if The View is leaning left. I don't care. I think you should be able to have a talk show and a panel where everybody's right. I believe that you should be able to have a talk show and a panel where everybody is left. I got no
That's
problem.
right.
I got no problem with that. Then there's shows you should have like Hannity and Combs or Crossfire. Crossfire was on CNN. I think they had a liberal, a centrist, and a conservative. And that's going back in time. And then they all had a discussion, and they weren't nasty to each other and whatever. Hannity and Combs was the same way. They had a great dynamic. totally different politically. One was left, one was right, but they didn't beat each other up. Yeah, they got into arguments, but they weren't mean and nasty. That's fine. But if you want a show with all people on the right, all people on the left, don't care. The problem, Wayne says, point counterpoint on SNL. Yeah, they had shows that worked out just fine. Let's see what Peggy says. Peggy says, poor Whoopi cries that she can't afford to retire. Yeah. 30 million worth. It's like, stop it. So, okay. The problem isn't whether you have an imbalanced panel. The problem is you have Joy Behar, Sonny, the fuck's her name?
God, yeah.
You know Sonny,
Yeah.
the black chick.
Yeah, the racist.
Yeah, and Whoopi Goldberg. And the other one, I don't know who the other one is. Those are the three. Hostin, thank you, Sonny Hostin. Those three are racist misandrists. Pure and clear. They're racist misandrists. Now, for those who don't know what a misandrist is, it's a woman who hates a man, the same way as misogyny. I'm tired. is men who don't like women. But that's nowadays they say if you disagree with a woman, you're a misogynist. No, you're not. You got to hate women. And misandrists do it in reverse. So you got those three. You want to make the View the proper show. You don't just try to get far right people in there to argue with these racist misandrists. You get rid of these three fucking women and just replace them with a normal person on the left. Problem solved. You don't need to try to. You don't want a battle royale on there, which is exactly what you'd get if you had anybody from the right that had a backbone. You'd have a battle royale. You don't need that. Just get rid of the racists and the misandrists. And those are the three top ones on the show. Whoopi, Joy, and Sonny.
Back years ago when I watched news on TV, I'd watch The Five. God, Bob Beckel. I loved Bob Beckel.
Yeah, Bob Beckel. Yeah.
He was something else again.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. So you just got to get rid of those people. Welcome to the show, Wayne. Sorry, I didn't welcome you in when you came in. So that's my view. That's the Cowboys' view on the View. Is you just need to get rid of those people. You don't need to try to balance it out. I don't care. Let them be left leaning. I don't care. Just get rid of the racists and the misandrists.
Yeah, we got knobs on our TV just for that purpose.
Right. But the reason you get rid of those three, whether you've got knobs or not, is they are poison. They are doing everything that you claim that the right is doing that isn't doing, and we don't need that shit. We don't need that from right, center, or left. Get rid of that shit. Do not give them a platform. Okay, now my next one. This is good. What is it, Donna? What's my next bullet point?
Oh, I forgot.
She forgot. Mystery smell. Mystery smell.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote up about it this morning. I said, it started with, hey, remember when you could go to a search engine and actually type in a question and get the answer you were looking for? Nowadays you can't. I wrote in, how did I write it? I said, how can clothing suddenly start smelling like chemicals? Okay? That's pretty.
They are.
Well, they are, but there's a reason. And all I got was how to remove the smell from clothing. I'm not asking that. I'm asking how does clothing suddenly start smelling like chemicals? Because here's my deal. Out in the mudroom last week, started smelling. It smelled like pine sol and turpentine and really, what I'd say is a high note chemical. Not like mild. There's some like skunks stink, but it's a low note, if that makes sense. Skunk spray is a low. It doesn't have a high if what would you would call that? You know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Well, there's something
Acidic type smell?
right. Well, one is a sharp note, and one is just a musty mild note. Skunks are musty mild. They stink like hell, but it doesn't have that sharp note in it.
Yeah.
Where like turpentine.
To me, that's acrid.
It is acrid, yeah, and acrid is a high note. I'm just trying to. It's so you know what I'm talking about. So you have chemicals that have, right? Jacqueline says a sharp smell. Sharp, right? It's sharp. Where skunks aren't sharp, it just stinks. But things like turpentine, those have a sharp smell to them. So okay, so I got this. I couldn't, and I'm like, did something spill in here? And it's out in my mudroom. And I couldn't, nothing was spilled. We started moving stuff around. There's nothing. I even took my solvents that I had and I picked them up and smelled them. It's like they're not leaking, but I'll put them outside. Didn't help. Couldn't figure it out. And then you know how you have dead areas in your house where smells congregate? So I had some of them. So I had one by the door. I had one on the other side of the freezer. I had one just out by the kitchen, and I had a small one out in the kitchen, but closer to the front door. Those were my dead zones. And this smell was concentrating in those areas. It's like, what the hell is going on? We couldn't figure it out.
Because you were standing there.
Yeah, because it was me. Is it me? Damn.
Yeah.
I took a shower last week. Once a week's enough, isn't it? Just once, right? It could be. Oh, no. I take a shower damn near every day. I admit, I do not take a shower every day. I take one damn near every day. Here's a key, too. Your body needs oils, so when you wash, make sure that it's good to get clean, but you can be over clean. We've talked about the cleanliness stuff before, but yeah. No, I shower regularly. I shower more often than I don't. When I say I don't take one every day, because I'm sure the same way. If you're sick and you just you might not shower that day. You haven't done anything. You've lounged around. You're just sick. You're not up to it. You won't take a shower. That's about when I don't take a shower. But whatever. I take a shower damn it. No, stop it, Donna. You got me going.
It builds up immunity.
Builds up immunity. Jacqueline says every Saturday night, whether you need it or not, get the brushes out. Get the brushes out. Get them get them pails of hot water. Heat it up on the stove.
Get that brass bristle brush out.
Yeah, that's right. And put them in the clawfoot tub and just keep filling it up with that hot water, like in the West. But no, no, it wasn't me. Stop it, Donna. So we couldn't figure this out. And y'all know me. I got a very sensitive nose.
Evidently.
No, I do. I do have I have to be very careful with like how much cologne I put on. I don't wear it very often. I'll do it for the missus every once in a while, and she loves it, but I have to be very minimal. It hurts my nose, and she can only wear certain types of perfumes because like I can't do florals. I can't do, like I said, potpourri. Whoever designed potpourri needs to be shot. You need to go back in history. The first person that came up with potpourri, just gone. It hurts the hell out of my nose. But that makes me a great whiskey drinker, though. That's why I can dissect a whiskey, because most of what you taste is your smell. So that's why I'm so good at that. But back to the story. I do shower, but I have a sensitive nose. So I went around and I tried to figure out where it was. And I came to a conclusion is three of my jackets smelled like that smell. One of them smelled really heavy. I couldn't figure it. It's my jean jacket. And then I had my winter jacket with the hood, and then I have it's an oil skin. It's cloth, but it's dark. It's an oil skin with a nice liner on the inside, but it's a light jacket. Those three. Now all the rest of them, now they're with a whole bunch of other jackets. None of them smelled like it. These were the three, and they were the ones that were right in the front. So I'm like, okay. So I take them and I put them outside. And the smell went away in the house. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's like, man, for that smell to be that concentrated, you had to have spilled something. There has to be a problem. So I'm like, what the fuck? And there wasn't anything spilled. We took everything out. It's like, no, there's
it's probably
nothing.
just the waterproofing treatment.
No, I'll get to this. I wish it was the waterproofing. No, it wasn't that. Because the oil skin, the oil slick, it's not really, but it's had a very slight smell. The jean jacket was the one that smelled really bad. You go, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay. And I know fabrics can collect smell. So I figured once I get the fabrics out, but it's like, why didn't the other jackets smell like it? Well, I'm getting to that. So I got online, just like, how does this work? Because what it ended up happening is I had them outside. And the other two jackets sort of smelled like they were getting rid of it. And the jean jacket smelled worse. It got worse. Like, what the fuck? So I get online. How does this work? Blah, 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 blah. My wife, the missus, she found out later, but it wasn't, she had to, again, you gotta trick search engines to give you the information you need.
Yeah.
So I had posted up, why is it this? Blah, 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 blah. And then some other gal, she writes in, and it was funny. She goes, oh, you can put them in the washing machine and put vinegar in it to get rid of the smell. It's like, I didn't ask how to get rid of smell. She's like, well, in fairness, it's like, no, not in fairness. I know how to get rid of smells. I didn't care. I wanted to know how the smell got there. Because just getting rid of smells, if you didn't take care of the problem, it might come back. So I wanted to know how the smell got there. So I'm like, did you write search engine algorithms? Because you gave me another answer I didn't ask for. I'm very specific. If I want to know, hey, the cowboy wants to know how you get rid of the smell in a shirt, I'm going to say that. I didn't say that. I said, how did the shirt smell like? It wasn't a shirt. How did the jacket? How does this? I know how to get rid of smells in wood, in porous materials, in clothing and fabrics, and it's not always the same. It depends upon what's the smell and what method you're going to get rid of it. So but I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. This just confused the hell out of me because it's like, man, where's the smell coming from? So we figured out what the smell was. The mystery smell is jean jackets and blue jeans, but more so jean jackets, but blue jeans as well. When they're made, they use formaldehyde in the process.
Is that part of the dye?
I think it's part of the dye and the treatment of the fabric. Yeah. They use formaldehyde. Now, normally it's not a problem. Normally it's not the problem. And usually when you wash the garments, you'll get at least 60% of the formaldehyde out of it. Laura says, what the fuck? Yeah, no shit. You'll get at least 60% out of it. Now, I knew that I had washed that jean jacket. I've washed it a couple times. But I guess if there's enough moisture and it doesn't dry out properly, and I guess I must have had it out, must have worn it in the rain or something like that, and then it just haven't dried out. It felt dry to the touch, but you know how it is. Something dry to the touch may not be totally dry. That the formaldehyde will then start leaching back into the air again.
Well, that's kind of like fur coats. Mink is that way.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar, so.
Well,
and it doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while it happens. Well, I guess it happened with this jacket. And oh my goodness, y'all might remember, I didn't have a show on Wednesday. And the reason I didn't have a show on Wednesday is both me and the missus have been having headaches all week. And we figured it was just the weather. Now, it could have been a combination of the weather too. But we also had upset stomachs and other issues. Our throats were scratchy. Our eyes were burning all the time. They just start burning out of nowhere. Well, if you look up formaldehyde exposure, guess what the symptoms of formaldehyde exposure are?
What the hell?
Burning eyes, coughing, scratchy throat, upset stomach, headaches. Da-da. So isn't that weird? Never had that. All the years of my life, I have never run into that. And I ain't no spring chicken. I'm pretty young, but I ain't no spring chicken. Never had that happen. Never. So I washed both of the jackets, or all three of the jackets, and dried them in the dryer. Two of the jackets are about right, just very light. I might be able to Febreze that crap out. The jean jacket still smelled, not as much, but I got a sensitive schnozzle. Peggy says mobile homes had this issue back in the day. Excuse me, it must have been horrible. Yeah. But, yeah. It's on the third. I've done it third wash now. And this last wash, I used a shit ton of vinegar. I used vinegar. I did standard high detergent the first time. Took it out for most of it. Second time I did vinegar and the detergent. This time I did a little bit of detergent and a shit ton of vinegar. This is the third time around on the jean jacket. And then I'll put it in the dryer. Both me and the missus says, if it ain't gone, we're going to throw the jacket. I'll pay another $65 for a jacket. I'm not going to deal with that shit. But yeah, isn't that weird? That's just weird.
You know what, too? Depends on where it's made, too.
This was a Wrangler, so wherever they're doing their stuff. Again, it wasn't a cheap. I don't look. I wear Wrangler jeans. I wear my Wrangler jackets. I had a Lee denim jacket. Jean jacket back years ago. I didn't like the cut. I didn't like the fit. That Wrangler. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's just weird. I've never had that. And again, I've had that jacket for years. Had it for years. Never had a problem. It's like, what the hell? So that's the mystery smell. So if you ever get that and you get this high and you can't figure it out, check your jean jackets or your blue jean material and see if that's it. Never had it. Weird. Probably won't ever have it happen again. And I guess it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, there it is.
Huh.
So that's the mystery smell. Okay, do you remember what the last bullet point for the show was?
Don't ask me.
Don't ask. Doge.
Oh yeah, Doge. I like that idea.
Yeah, you like that idea. You like it a lot less when I tell you about the
Okay.
DOGE, is that what it's called? DOGE?
It's just a think tank kind of thing.
Right. I want to get the name right.
Yeah, Doge. DOGE.
DOGE.
Department of Government Accountability.
It's fucking. And it's funny, they laugh because there's a Dogecoin as well, but it means something different.
That's different.
Right. Doge Elon, let's see here. Department of Government Efficiency.
There you go.
Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. Yeah, Laura says efficiency, yes. Now I'll tell you what Doge really is. It ain't shit. It's a political fucking game. Number one. Yeah, there you go, Wayne. It's a made-up department that works outside the government. Elon isn't even an employee. He's a volunteer. He can't be because he has too many government contracts. So he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart. Now, what this think tank does is they look through the government and they find ways to make it more efficient and cut costs. And then they submit this to the government saying, here you go, here's our recommendations, which the government then promptly looks at, pulls down their pants, wipes their ass, and throws it in the toilet and flushes it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right, it's meaningless. The Doge has no authority or power whatsoever. And they're not going to do anything that I haven't done on my own page on Facebook for 10 years. That's point out government waste and ways that it can be more efficient. They're not going to do anything new.
the pig book every year. It comes
Yeah.
out.
There's nothing new about this, but
Exactly.
Trump knows how the political theater game works. So he's going to appoint Elon Musk and some other high bigwigs, and they're going to come up with this shit, and everybody's going, yay, they're going to cut spending and be a more efficient.
Gotta
No,
go through
they're
Congress.
fucking not.
No, it's got to go through Congress.
Everything's right. Everything goes. There is a department of spending in the government, anyways, that is run by these senators and congressmen, anyways. So it's Doge is nothing. It's a political theater game that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. So like Donna's like, oh, I like that. Yeah, I like the theory of it until you find they can't do anything. If they actually had a government department which did that, I'd be all for it. It's all games. It's all political theater, and I'm tired of it, and he hasn't even been sworn in yet. Stop. Doge doesn't do anything. Ain't that a fine howdy do?
Yeah, the Citizens Against Government Waste have been doing that for years
Yeah.
and years and years.
Ain't nothing new. And
They
they've
put it out every year. It's called
Right.
Pig Book.
right. There ain't nothing new about this. They just made a fancy name and used a face that everybody now just like, Elon Musk is not a conservative, right, folks? Stop it. He's just a smart businessman that knows the left are off the freaking tracks. Jacqueline says it's people he believes he can trust instead of the kind of... It doesn't even matter. Jacqueline, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not about people he can trust. It's a bullshit made-up department that does nothing. Does nothing. Look, Elon and his pals at Doge aren't going to hand Trump a list of things, and Trump's going to go, yeah, let's get this done. It doesn't work that. It's not even going to get to Trump's desk. It goes someplace else, and they're going to look at it and do nothing. The same way, like Donna says, these reports are done every year by more than one group, as well as individual voices like myself out there. It doesn't take a special group to point out where there's government waste and inefficiency. They're not going to fix the problem. Laurel says Rand Paul puts a list of ridiculous spending by the government. Right. They're doing it within the government. They're like, this is bullshit. Let's get rid of this shit. So it's political theater, and people are going, damn you, John, why'd you do that? I was feeling good about something. Sorry. Sorry. It's all bullshit. Here's another thing. Tulsi Gabbard is not a fucking Republican. Donald Trump put out a statement because he wants her to be the head of intelligence. Fine. I got no problem with her in that position. I believe there is a place in government for Tulsi Gabbard, but as a Democrat, not as a
Trump was
Republican.
Not a Republican, really.
I've pointed that out too. I made a post about rhinos the other day. Trump isn't a Republican. He's a moderate Democrat. He's a classic moderate Democrat.
Right.
And so is J.D. Vance. Now, I'm not saying, don't vote. I voted for him because we need that. We need to fix the hemorrhaging first. But I said 2 to 6 years, the Republican Party is going to implode. Why? Because it's full of rhinos. People use that as an insult for people they don't like. No. That I'd say probably at least half of the Republicans in the Republican Party, not just in D.C., but across the board, they're not Republicans. Mitt Romney, he was a Democrat. Oh, he was a Republican from Massachusetts. Yeah, you think? That's a Democrat. No. Rhino. It's become a name like racist. You just slap it on something you don't like. The Republican Party is full of people that shouldn't be there. And I said, yes, join arms and link hands with Democrats that want to oust the radical left from the Democrat Party. But do not think that they're now Republicans, because they're not. They're still Democrats.
I think Mike Rogers is one.
Yeah, he might be. I'd have to look into that. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And then people like Adams. Oh, Adams, you watch in the next couple of years, he's going to be Republican. No, he's still a Democrat. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And he knows I can't support these policies anymore. I'm going to start speaking truth. That doesn't make him a Republican. That makes him a sane Democrat. Stop it. Peggy says, Betsy DeVos told Trump that the Department of Education should be disbanded. I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, it should be. It won't be. There's a lot of stuff. We talked about this on the last show. There's a lot of stuff people want. It ain't going to happen. Mass deportations. Yeah, not going to happen. There's going to be token deportations. There's going to be blatant extra level criminals that are going to be deported, but they're not rounding people up. They could have been doing that shit. Remember back years ago when they were raiding places like Tyson Foods and stuff like that they found a shit ton of illegal workers there?
Yeah.
They could have done that all across the country and then find the companies in a meaningful way, throw people in jail that are allowing this shit to happen. Because it's not like, excuse me, when 80% of your workforce is illegal aliens, you cannot tell me that, oh, I just thought they had the right paperwork. Bitch, they can't speak English. You knew that they were illegal. Stop it. Put people in jail. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Remember the first time Trump, and again, I'm not saying this to shit on Trump. I'm saying this because it's a reality of politics and what's going on. He didn't accomplish a third of what he said he was going to do. And but the Democrats, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he had 2 years when he got into office that he could have done shit, and he didn't. Jacqueline says like Trojan horses in the Republican side. Yeah. So again, do I like Tulsi? I like Tulsi Gabbard. She's an attractive, articulate, intelligent woman.
I liked Tulsi when she was a Democrat.
Yeah, I liked her, but I wouldn't vote for her. And I said she's got some major problems, and those problems are because they're general. Like she's all to amendment now. Yeah, bullshit. She knows she can't take her Hawaiian Democrat stand and make it on the political stage nationwide. She could only pull that shit in Hawaii. So she changed her stand. I don't think she's gotten more pro-Second Amendment. She's got classic Democrat with some radical stands mixed in there. But I like her. She's personable. I said that's the real threat. If they ran Tulsi Gabbard, we're fucked. Why? Because she seems sensible, and she is on most issue, but she's got some major policy problems that are against the Constitution and against the American way of life. But she's articulate, she's intelligent, and she's attractive. My God. And they didn't go with her. They went with Kamala Harris. You guys are a bunch of idiots. Well, they knew if they went with somebody like Tulsi, they couldn't do all of the stuff that they wanted to do. So it ended up backfiring on them. But there's a lot of them. I think West is another Democrat. Yeah. He's a stand-up. Not the black West. It's the white West. Isn't that his name, West? You know what I'm talking about. He was running for president back the last go around. Didn't make it out of the primaries. What the hell was his name? Wasn't it West? Let's see here.
Well, I think the way the Democrats did
2016.
Junior and Tulsi, and that's what drove them out.
Yeah. What the hell was his
They put Tulsi
name?
Gabbard on a terrorist watch list.
Yeah, that was some horse shit right there.
That was, yeah.
No, what the hell?
The way they did Robert Kennedy Jr.
Cornel West?
Oh, Cornel West.
Was that who it was?
No, that's
the black guy, right?
That's the black guy.
Yeah, Cornel. It was not Cornel West. He's a crazy looking black guy. And then there's another one, Colonel West as well. No, Cornel West is, he looks like Don King, Cornel West. Who's the white guy? Who is the white guy? God, I can't remember. What was that?
Maurice
West? The hell is him? No.
Kevin. There's a Kevin West out of Oklahoma City.
That might be it. Let's see here.
He's a Republican.
No, then it wasn't him. Separate charge. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go back to. I think.
Okay, there's a Josh West. He's a military veteran. He's from Oklahoma.
Right. Yeah, I think that's who it was. Is he a Democrat? You said his name was Josh West?
A lot of Wests. Let me look here.
No, that doesn't look like him. That's the completion of my 8 USC post. Yeah, I'm going to try to find him. God, this is bothering me. I think he was in the 2016. That's what I get with a late show. Democrats.
This Josh assumed office in January 2017.
No, if you said he was a Republican, it wasn't even it.
You're looking for a Democrat?
It's a Democrat. I'm talking about a Democrat that's a solid Democrat. That's. I wouldn't vote for him, but he ain't batshit crazy. So I'm trying to do the list of.
Rick West.
Is it Rick West?
He's out of LaFleur County.
Webb.
Okay.
Jim Webb. Motherfucker.
Webb.
It wasn't West.
Okay.
Jim Webb.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's try to go down here. Let's try to find his picture. Jim Webb. I think that was him. Not West. It's a W. Yeah, I think that was him. Jim Webb. He wasn't He wasn't batshit crazy. He was like a Tulsi Gabbard. It's somebody that you could work with. You didn't agree with all their policies, but he wasn't out to freaking ruin the country. Jim Webb. West. Close. It's a W. It's a W.
Yeah, he's a Democrat.
Yeah. I think it was Jim Webb.
He's out of Missouri, born in
Missouri. Let's see here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, because it was Webb, Sanders, O'Malley, Lissing, Chaffee. They all dropped out. Clinton was nominated. Warren didn't run. Schweitzer didn't run. Gore didn't run. Cuomo didn't. Biden didn't run. But, yeah. So I think it was Webb. Yeah. So it was like sane. I keep saying there's a room for Democrats in politics. There certainly is. But they need to be tempered by the Republicans. You know, work together, figure shit out, and only do what they both agree is the very minimum that needs to be done for our nation. That's it. But yeah, Jim Webb. Wasn't he a veteran too?
Yeah, he was a veteran.
Yeah.
United States Senator from Virginia.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it was him.
He was only in office up to 2013.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Well,
he was in the running. So he was in the running.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd take a Jim Webb and a Tulsi Gabbard on the opposition team. You know, that's the opposition you want. You don't want like AOC and
oh my God.
Freaking
well, I tell you,
Harris
she's been making noises.
Yeah, she's a whack job.
Well, she actually made sense last time I seen her.
Yeah, well, she's.
It's like I don't know if she's just.
She's playing the political cards right now. She realizes that that she's seen a lot of seats lost. She kept hers, but because people in her, they actually interviewed people on the streets, and there were still people that didn't even know who the hell she was in her district. It's like, who's AOC? Oh, she's a Democrat candidate. Oh yeah, I'm voting for her because that's all they do. They see the D. That's all they see.
What one I can't stand is that Ilhan Omar.
Omar, yeah, she needs to be booted.
They need to get rid of her.
She needs to be deported.
Yeah. She
married her damn brother. to get into the United States. That's fraud. That's fraud. It's like, and yet she's still there.
Yeah.
Here's the funny part. I like all these Muslim gals coming in and screeching in the West, and ain't a single one of them couldn't ask their husband to take the trash out fast in the nations they came from. Can you imagine Omar in Somalia talking the way she does? No. Jacqueline says, the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Yeah, I didn't mind Webb. I don't agree with everything that he says, but he seems to be a sane, old school
There's a couple
Democrat.
of females on the Democrat side that make a lot of sense too.
There are?
Yeah.
Who?
I can't name them right now. I watch all these idiot hearings and things.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times it depends upon what the hearing's about, and But see, we're going to see a slight realignment again because the Democrats knew that, they fucked up. They pushed too hard. They thought there's no way they could lose. They pushed too hard and they lost.
I love it.
The nation did not suddenly become far-right racist bigots.
No, they didn't.
Trump won because even sane centrists and liberals said, I ain't going to go for this other shit. That's just insane.
Well,
That's all it was.
Run a country on abortion. And
No, yeah, and that's the whole thing. They like to think, okay, so really the number one issue for women across the nation is abortion. They really think so? No. No,
not close. You can't run a country on feelings.
No. And it's a state issue anyways. You're going to get pissed off. Donald Trump already said, I ain't touching abortion. We already sent that back to the states. You got a problem with abortion in your state? Take it up with your legislators in your state.
Get off your ass out there and get the petition signed.
Right.
And get it on.
Some states actually enacted less strict abortion laws. Some states enacted stricter abortion laws. That's how it works. They act like, now abortion's illegal. No. Chances are, if you're in a blue state, it didn't change. It only got better for you. It didn't get worse. So stop it. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, then
one issue voters? Are you kidding?
Actually get it on the,
Yeah.
get it on the.
It's decided by the states. If you want it legal in your state, then you make sure you get it legal in your state.
That's right.
And there's no state that I can think of that had abortion is illegal across the board. I think every single one of them had up to a certain date, and with the exceptions of incest and rape. And the health of the mother, the life of the mother. Life of the mother, incest, and rape. I think that's the base. I don't think there's any state that didn't have that.
Well, even when it was Roe v. Wade, there was a limit.
Yeah. And they allowed limits, and they upheld limits.
Exactly.
Now you can debate when that limit was. Late-term abortions, contrary to what the radical left thinks, the American people do not agree with late-term abortions under any circumstances. Because if it's late-term, you can give birth and that child can survive.
Oh, there's what'd they say? In 22 or 23, there was something like 1,200 or something like that.
Yeah, there was a bunch. And in Minnesota, there was like, what, eight botched abortions. They were actually born alive and then allowed to die in Minnesota. Yep. Kay says our democracy, when it works from the bottom up and not the top, because we're not a democracy. Kay, we're not a democracy.
Yeah, we're not.
But welcome to the show, Kay. Yeah, we're not. We are a constitutional republic. It uses some democratic principles and methodology, but it's not a democracy. And it's not just a republic. It's a constitutional republic. We are unique in the world. Everybody wasn't supposed to get a vote. The founders hated that. And rightfully so. And we see what happens. But almost from the start, they started pushing more and more people get to vote. More and more people get to vote. Women couldn't vote. Minorities couldn't vote. I showed that was bullshit. I pointed that out time and time again. In the founding of our country, minorities could vote. Women could vote. They had to meet the same criteria that the average white man had, but if they did, in most states they could vote. It wasn't an issue. No, we're not a democratic republic. We are a constitutional republic. We're not a democratic republic. We're a constitutional republic. All republics are democratic because you vote for your representatives. The Constitution is what separates the two. A constitutional republic is a republic that confines the power of both the people and the government by a framework of laws which neither shall step across, but mainly to prevent government from doing so. Where a republic can trample on your rights as quick as anything else because they don't have the Constitution which regulates the government. In other words, a democratic republic where the majority of the people want slavery to come back will bring back slavery. They just modify the law. They can bring it back. They can implement anything they want. They just do it through their representatives instead of a per-person vote. Where a constitutional republic, in theory, if run the way it's supposed to, prevents that from happening. Because neither the people nor the government can just do things that are outside the confines of the Constitution. Does that make sense? I've written so many articles about that. I put up a bunch of them during this last thing. Kay says, yes, in theory. Right. I mean, the problem is it's not just in theory. All they had to do was just fucking obey the law. Just obey the law. That's like saying, well, in theory, you can't foul on a basketball court. Well, no. No, you can't. In theory, you can't get away. Well, you can't get away from it if the refs enforce the rules. We've just been ignoring the rules. Peggy says, I've had that argument with several liberals. No one would have said boo about abortion if states like New York and Minnesota hadn't performed late-term abortions. Right, it would have been a non-issue. I pointed this out. I posted out a couple years ago. I posted up the stats. Abortions in the United States were actually on the decline. We were winning culturally. Less and less people were getting abortions. But politically, the screeching went up. That's the same way with crime. People don't understand. Statistically, until the last 5 years, crime was on a massive decline across the United States, to include in the cities. And within the last 5 or so years, it spiked again because of Democrat policies. But before that, the media kept screaming about crime, and it's like, yeah, crime is actually going down. We were winning a lot of the issues that we were fighting for, but the media and the propaganda machine were spinning the opposite story, and so were politicians. What you going to do? Keep speaking the truth. But yeah, in theory. Oh, I hate that. No, it works in practice if it's practiced. It's not the Constitution in the Constitutional Republic isn't a theory. It's just being ignored. It's there. That's why I hate it. Even when Republicans bring up about our democracy. In our democracy, stop it. We're not a democracy. Stop it. Stop even using that word. I can guarantee you when you all were growing up, we heard that maybe once or twice. Most of the time when we heard it, democracy was generally when we're spreading democracy is what we said, like in the 80s and the 90s. We're spreading democracy, late 70s to the 90s, to these countries that were dictators. But we were always, growing up, it was always constitutional republic. Hell, It's in the Republic is in the damn Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. That was added later, with liberty and justice for all. It doesn't say, and to the democracy, which we're not a democracy. We're a republic, and we are a constitutional republic. We didn't, again, we weren't, I don't recall growing up. Does any of you recall growing up where they actually called our country a democracy?
No.
It was always constitutional republic or republic. I never heard democracy. But that's telling. Republicans, Democrat, democracy. Democracy is mob rule. Kay says, definitions aside, America remains the world's greatest experiment in democratic values. Yes, but see, there's a difference between democratic values and a democracy. Yes, and if America falls, so shall the world. If the United States falls, so shall the world. And we've already passed it. They've said that throughout history about every major nation and group lasted about 200 to 250 years before they collapsed. And then they restart the cycle. We've outlived that. So it's like, we're in treacherous times here. Excuse me. Jacqueline says, the horrible over-the-top BS pulled was scary, but ultimately a huge gift to us because it handed the election to us. Yeah, here we go. Like I said, if Tulsi Gabbard just ran under her just normal platform, she would have wiped Trump off. No, because all of the votes that didn't switch from Kamala to Trump would have still been there for Kamala. I even say if Harris had played her cards different and not pushed so hard, as well as the Democrat machine, if they hadn't tried to push so hard, they very well could have taken it. Kay says, okay, I get it. No, it's important, Kay. I don't do this to be an asshole. It's just super important. It is super important because we've lost by giving an inch and an inch and changing a definition here and conceding a point there. It's like, no, we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back. I'm passionate. I'm passionate. Gus says words matter. Yes, they do. Thank you, Gus. Gus has heard me say that more. Words matter. Like the gal saying, well, you asked it. No, I did not ask that. I was specific in what I stated. I did not ask how to remove smell from my clothing. Because I know it's not the same. Like I said, I've washed that jacket now. This is the third time. Hopefully I've got it. I know how to do it. They've also got some new products out there, too. It's stuff that's used for skunks and stuff like that. It's pretty good. I think we might still have some. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, I think the name on one of them is something like No Stink.
Like No Stink or Stink Be Gone or something like that. Yeah. I think we've got it someplace. And it works pretty good. Vinegar usually helps, but it depends upon the smell. So, yeah.
Yeah, vinegar, that's what I've used.
Yeah, I use it's usually my go-to because we've always got it on hand, and distilled vinegar, white vinegar. And it's always on hand. We got it on hand, so it's my go-to before I just buy all the other stuff. But sometimes no, I know how to get rid of smells. I just wanted to know where the hell the smell was coming from. Hey, did y'all see my post today about I introduced you all to Django Reinhardt? Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Here's Django
I
Reinhardt.
wasn't on there very long. I was outside. I've got these plants. They're huge. They're called angel trumpets.
Okay, yeah.
and you ought to look them up. But I have to cut them down to the ground every year and mulch them real heavy, and then I cover them and put something heavy on top for the winter.
Okay.
They're
Back-
really cool plants.
Back to Django. Django in chains. Jacqueline says baking soda is good in the wash. Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah.
Django Reinhardt was a guitarist in the 30s in France. Gus says I still have to go to your page to see it. Yeah, they're throttling me hard, Gus. They are throttling me hard. But thank you. I can tell when Gus makes my page because I get notified whenever anybody does anything, and it's like Gus does this, Gus does this, Gus does this, Gus. Oh, Gus visited my page. And it's appreciated. Thank you. Django Reinhardt. Get back to Django Reinhardt. He is arguably the best jazz musician.
Oh, I saw that, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, Django was he was in the 30s, and he is everybody from Willie Nelson,
He was French.
yes, he was French. I said that.
Okay.
Who's the guy the black guy that plays the guitar? He's dead now. Purple Haze. I'm tired. I can't think.
Oh,
Who is he?
the guy.
Yeah, who's the black? He's a left-handed guitar player.
Yeah, he did Woodstock.
Yes.
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix. Thank you, Gus. He said Jimi.
Hendrix.
I needed to prod there, man. My brain is
okay,
fried
I'm
right now.
sorry.
Jimi Hendrix. Most every major guitar player out there that you can think of has credited Django Reinhardt in inspiring them and help them expand their guitar playing. And this is, the general public just don't know Django because they don't listen to jazz. Now,
Right.
as you know, I play jazz. I'd say jazz is probably 75 to 80% of what I play, if not more, is jazz. Is what I play. Now, oddly enough, and I never thought about it, but oh shit. Yeah. Django Reinhardt was in a fire when he was like in his early 20s or something like that. And he got seriously burned, and his biggest problem was his left hand, which is his fretting hand. And he could only use 2 fingers. So he had to relearn how to play guitar. And he learned how to play using just 2 fingers. And he became the world's best, and still to this day, known for being the best jazz player ever born. And he actually invented a type of jazz they call jazz manouche or gypsy jazz. And he worked up and down the neck as opposed to top and bottom. In other words, using the fretboard like a runway as opposed to a stepping stone going from the lower string to the higher string. So his style of play was very fluid and relied less on chord work because he only had 2 fucking fingers, and focused on chromatic runs and trills, which are common in jazz now. And if you listen to my music, you go, oh shit. Then if you watch my videos, you watch when I'm playing, it's like, oh shit, John's primarily playing with 2 fingers. And I didn't put the connection together. But it suits when you use that style of play when you're running up and down the fretboard as opposed to using it as a step. from top to bottom. You're running it like a runway. You don't need as many fingers because you're running up and down the fretboard. You're not stepping like climbing stairs. And that's exactly how he played. Now, he plays a shit ton better. I don't play very well. I do okay. But he is like, oh my God, he's like 17 times faster than me, and he is amazing. And he does it with just 2 fingers. So again, if you watch my videos of me playing, you go, oh shit. Somebody pointed that out the other day. There was 2 people, and they're like, hey, I like how you only use, like, basically most of the time only use 3 strings, and you're not doing chords. It's like, right, well, because jazz, you're not doing chords. And you're usually playing with accompaniment. So you don't have to play it, just play the melody. Do what you're supposed to do. I'm a melody player. And I didn't think. I said, yeah, go look at Django Reinhold. I didn't say that because it didn't hit me. Didn't hit me till today. And that's how I play. And somebody else, I think a gal had asked me, she goes, she's getting older. She'd wanted to do guitar work, but her fingers, she can't do the chords. She can't get her fingers in those shapes anymore. And I said, don't do chords. Do not do. You've all seen Django. He's up on the screen now. I'm going to go back to my camera. Don't do chords. Jacqueline says, touched by God in his soul. Yeah, he saw a problem and he was able to work it out. And he did what works for him. Now, I don't have any problems with my fingers. It just made more sense for the way that I was playing. And I've shown you pictures of my fingers before. You can't see it on the camera right here. But I've taken pictures of it. I got calluses on my first 2 fingers right here. Just these 2. A lot of guitar players have calluses on their 3 fingers. Because when you're doing chords and stuff, you tend to use these 3 fingers the most, and then you use your pinky for support. But since I don't do chord work, my first 2 fingers, there's the calluses. And then I use the 3rd one occasionally. But I don't need but 2. Because I use pretty much the same playing style that Django Reinhardt did. So I tell people, find what works for you. And I told the gal, I said, just do what works for you. Start thinking of melodies. Don't try to get complex. Think about the melodies. I was watching a video the other day on YouTube too, and somebody was saying, it was a guitar player, and he's like, yeah, all the guitar players go, I want to learn something that's going to impress my friends and my audience. It's like, don't. Don't. Because most people don't play an instrument. They can't tell what's easy or hard. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Most people don't know what's easy or hard. A lot of things that sound complicated are easy as hell. And other things that don't sound complicated, they're hard as hell. It just depends upon the notes and how they play out. And so the person listening doesn't generally know. They know what sounds good and what doesn't. So I say, if you want to impress somebody, if you play something really complex and it's hard, you're going to impress other guitar players. But your audience doesn't care. Play what you like to play it well. People react to a musician that is feeling their music, even if it's simple. And they can feel it and they can recognize it. That's what impresses your audience. So that's what you need to focus on. Don't try to impress people. Don't do that. Just play what you like to play and be passionate about it. And do it well. Your audience will then be impressed. You can play hot cross buns and they'll be impressed if you get every note right and you do it with feeling. So they know the song. That's another reason why I don't do chords. I don't strum chords, because I've said this before. If you are a backup player, in other words, somebody else is doing the singing, you're either going to sing with it or you're going to have other instruments that are doing the melody. That's where chord strumming comes into play. The average song, if you play the chords to the average song, people don't know what the hell you're playing because they need the melody. They either need another instrument singing the song or they need a voice singing the melody. C, C, D, D, C, A, C, D, A. What song is that? Well, it could be 17 songs. Till the melody is laid over the top, you don't know what the hell you're singing to or what you're listening to. I play melody. So I don't get complex. That's why I like playing with backing tracks. They do the work, and I just lay the melody on top. It's not cheating. I play the same damn thing without the backing track. But every time I play, you know what I'm playing. Excuse me. If it's a known song. Most of the stuff I play around, it's my song. I just come up with the song and play it over a backing track. They just have a generic backing track, and you just play whatever you want on the top of it. And it works. Now, that being said, most of the backing tracks, I have like between 1 and 3 versions of songs that I play over each backing track. It's the same backing track, and each song sounds different. It's the same backing track. I played earlier today. Yesterday and today I was a jazz playing fool, and the missus was sleeping. I put her to sleep all the time. Put her to sleep. She's like, "Oh, it sounds good." It's like, yeah. I told her, this is really weird. I said, it may sound weird, but this is the way it is. I'll be playing, and there's times when I'm not playing. In other words, I'm playing it, I'm choosing which to go, but I am almost outside listening to the sound as if somebody else is playing this music. It's weird. It's like an out-of-body experience, but I'm not out, and I'm just going with it. I'm directing it, I'm directing the flow, and that's fine, but I'm not having to think hard about it, and it's just flowing. Jacqueline says the whole point of music is to express emotion, so playing perfectly but mechanically is flat and boring. Yeah, it can be. It can be. Yeah. Also knowing when to shift your notes, half a beat off time. I like jazz because it uses a lot of whole and half. But you got to get it right, because you hit a half note in the wrong spot, it's sour as all get out. You hit a half note in the right spot, it's like, ooh, that's nice. That's why I like jazz. I'm gonna record a bunch more jazz for you folks and get it up there. It's just, I do smooth jazz. It's not super fast, but it ain't slow, and it's just, I can just get lost in it. I just get lost in it, and it just, like Django Reinhardt, you just work the neck, you flow. It's a flow up and down the neck. And you kind of wave in the top, and then you come down here and you hit the high notes, and you come on and go a little bit in the mids, and you do a couple times in the mids, and then you go up into the low notes. And you come into the high, and you make it sing a little loud. It's just, it's beautiful. It's got this wave, and the way that works is it's so much different than going up and down the strings this way. You go up and down, it's like walking up steps. You can go faster that way normally, but you're missing some fluidness that you get going up and down the neck, which is what Django, he caught on. Now, he does it a hell of a lot faster than I do. And I also, right, Jacqueline says, in the zone. Right, when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. And it just flows. It just comes right out of me. And then there's times when I'm off. It's like, one time I will pick up the guitar several times a day. And one time I picked it up, I was just too tired, and it was like, oh man, every time I tried to go my wholes and halves, I was the wrong step out. It's like, oh man, I am murdering this crap. So I put the guitar down, went and did some other stuff, came back, and it's like, oh, and there it is again. That was fine. I was good to go. But yeah, something about playing. And jazz. Now I do a lot of blues. Blues are okay. I like jazz. I do a bit of country, not much. I do country songs. I sort of freestyle country, sort of every once in a while. It's not my go-to. I like soft rock, romantic rock, blues, jazz, funk. I get funky every once in a while. I like some funk. Bolsolero, anything Latin. I do Latin stuff. So I like the Latin stuff. I posted up a Latin song back a while ago. I redid it this, I don't know, was it Friday night? I think I posted up my Latin song. But yeah, I like Latin music, jazz, some blues, romantic or feely rock, slower stuff. And I'm not impressive. I'm not that good, but I enjoy the hell out of it. And Mrs. does too. So that's like I said, she'll fall asleep. I don't pick it up to rock out usually. Now there's some songs, there's some jazz that I can get in there, and there's a lot of Spanish stuff. I go, man, we'll just go to town. But normally it's softer stuff. It's softer stuff because it calms me. It calms me. I can't wait till I get the dulcimer in because I'm going to start playing a lot of this stuff on the dulcimer. And even though they're both chromatic, the dulcimer and the guitar are both chromatic scale. Normally they're not, but my dulcimer is. How you play them and the way the strings are tuned is not the same as a guitar. So yeah, the notes are all there, but the way they're going to play with the strings and the way the strings, it's different. So it's not like, oh, I can play this song on the guitar, so it immediately pick up the dulcimer and you can play it the same way. Well, no, because the two strings, like the two bottom strings, aren't, the dulcimer's D-A-D. That's it, D-A-D. Guitars ain't D-A-D. There's 6 strings. And I think the last one's E. It ain't D. So they're not the same. So I'll have to find the songs again with the new strings and the layout. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. Plus the fact that it's got both the piezo and the magnetic pickups is going to give it a much different sound than most people are expecting out of a dulcimer.
Now, isn't there a 4-string guitar?
A 4-string guitar?
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be. Most guitars are 6, 7, or 12. Yeah. Peggy says, good night, all. And thank you, John. You're most welcome, Peggy. I'm sorry we didn't. With the bullet points took a lot of time because Donna was interrupting me. She was driving me off the tracks. But it's a 4-string guitar. 4-skin guitar. I've never heard
Maybe
that.
It's not called a guitar. Maybe it's one of those Indian things.
Oh, like a zither or something like that. 4-string acoustic guitars. Sorry, couldn't find any match on Guitar Center. I'm like, oh, there's a link for it. Well, sorry. What is a 4-string guitar called? The tenor guitar or 4-string guitar is slightly smaller, 4-string relative to a steel string acoustic guitar or electric guitar. So there you go. There is a 4-string. It's called a tenor. Now I know a baritone is a that's a 6-string as well. So a tenor is a 4-string guitar. Ukuleles also come in 4 strings as well, but I don't think all of them are 4. I think they're 5. Most guitars have 6 strings. Tuning ukulele is different. 2, 3, 4. No, they're 4. 4-string as well. Gus says, I'm calling in night. I have been listening the entire show, but tired. Hey, thanks for joining in there, Gus. Have a great start of the week. Good night, everyone. You too, Gus. Laura says, I'm calling in. Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired. Wayne's like, I'm not tired. We're gonna get going. So I just get started at 10 o'clock, John. But yes, there's a 4-string guitar. But yeah, and a dulcimer comes usually in 3 or 4 strings. 2 of them are doubled. They're closer together. Wayne's laughing. Wayne knows the truth. But yeah. And I just went, I could have had mine as a 4, but I just went with 3. I grew up with the 3. There's going to be the hot rod, though. Jacqueline says, good night, Gus.
Good night, you guys.
Donna's saying good night to everybody. It's like, yeah, we can hear Donna. She just can't see our typing. Because she's in the, she's in the Zoom room. Jacqueline says, good night, Laurel. So I should call it a night. But yeah, I'm waiting. I keep waiting. Oh, it's a new week coming in. Oh, he's Mr. McCafferty. He's going to be sending me an email saying, hey, John, guess what I got here? I got your dulcimer, and it's getting ready to be wrapped up. It's like, yeah. Have you discussed Pennsylvania openly cheating? No, we didn't discuss that. There's a lot about this election I didn't discuss. They'll be handling that. I'm just so happy that Trump won. And as you all know, I'm not a Trump guy. I was loving people, oh, you're a Trumper. It's like, you know absolutely nothing about the Cowboy. You think that you're MAGA. You're MAGA. It's like, I'm not MAGA. No, I believe in a lot that it stands for, but the MAGA movement, I'm not MAGA. I'm a constitutional conservative. That aligns with a lot of the MAGA stuff, but I'm not MAGA. I don't wear the red hat, and I'm not Donald Trump. Somebody said I wrote up about what's happening now with all of these cabinet picks and stuff, and I pointed out that it's just some of them are just bullshit that he knows that aren't going to be approved, so he can slide in somebody. It's like, yeah, Trump outlined that in the Art of the Deal, and it looks like you've been reading. Good job. And it's like, I've never read the Art of the Deal, and I never will. I'm not a Trump fan. Look, he is what he is. He's fine. We've talked about Trump. I'm not. Donna just left the room. I'm not a Trumper. I'm not Trumpy. I didn't read Art of the Deal, and he didn't write fucking Art of the Deal. People don't realize that. No, nothing in the Art of the Deal is anything that's new. And look, this is all basic stuff. You don't need to read his book to figure out what's going on in politics and how to make deals in business and stuff like that. There's nothing unique in that book. Nothing. If you know nothing about stuff, yeah, it'll give you a heads up. That's good. But if you've been around a couple years and you understand business and you understand people, you understand negotiating, you understand politics, you understand the systems, you see it all play out, you know what's happening. You don't need to read his book to get that. And no, I found it rather insulting. Oh, good job, Cowboy. You've been reading his book. No, I haven't. No, I don't get my knowledge from Donald Trump. Stop it. Well, that's rather egotistical. No, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Tonight's coffee is hazelnut cream from New England brand. Folks who'd like to buy the Cowboy a drink or a coffee, there's a link in the description of the show. You can make a one-time payment, or you can even set up a monthly donation, even as much as $5 a month. It goes a long way. Like raindrops coming down, it all adds up. Well, as long as we get some raindrops. It's been a little bit dry. But it's there if you have the ability and the desire to pitch in and help the content and keep things rolling. Help me keep my lights on. I would say I got bills to pay too. I got bills to pay too. So there it is. There it is. Who else we got left here? Jacqueline, I don't think she left. Peggy left. Laurel left. Kay stopped talking. We got some folks still watching, but we is after the hour. And we've got a week coming up. I'm trying to decide when I'm gonna go back over to Vermont and shut the water off from the well. I can shut it off right at the house and then drain all the lines so I don't bust those lines. I had to replace damn near every water line because we went last winter and I hadn't got it drained properly. Yeah, stupid. I had a lot going on. Judy says I'm here. Just have a badass headache. I am sorry, Judy. Is this the first time you posted up? Welcome to the show. Thank you for for watching. Hopefully it's not a jean jacket seeping, whatever the hell that shit is. Formaldehyde. God, I ain't never had that happen in my life. Ain't never had that happen. It's like, yeah, it explains all the symptoms me and the missus were having last week. It's like, well, somebody bench. Freaking jean jacket. So hopefully this is good. I gotta probably put it in the dryer when I get done with the show, because I put it in for the other wash. She says, yes, been here since the beginning. No, I think it's job related. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. My boss is an asshole, so I can commiserate with you. And everybody's like, your boss? You're your own boss. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Try to get away from your boss when you're the boss. It's a terrible thing. That's why I play the guitar. Love that guitar. I told the missus that's a good investment. That ain't a cheap guitar. That's a good and expensive car. It ain't the highest on the level, but you're looking at, it's over $3,000. It's about $3,500 guitar. It's a good guitar. Now I've had other acoustics like my Fender. It's nice, but I always felt I was lacking. I never felt since I started playing that. I never felt like I was lacking. I needed something more. It's a beautiful guitar. And it's a guitar that even if you're a guitar player and they come over, they go, that's a nice guitar. They see a video, that's a nice guitar. They might not even be Taylor fans. I was like, that's a nice guitar. It's nice. It's good to have things that you can be proud of. Dulcimer's going to be the same way. It'll be a kick-ass. That one's expensive too. Holy crap. Folks want to help out with that, there's a link in the description of the show. They can help with that too. Try to offset the costs. My goodness. Should be getting ready for maybe our first. I think we were just about a half a tank of oil last spring. So we've been running on that this fall. Might be ready for our first fill of the year. So we see how that goes. Going to be quite the bill. Keep the house warm though. Yeah, Donna didn't even say goodbye in the Zoom room. She just left. Just slammed the door. I'm out of here. Fuck them. Like, share, subscribe. Get folks to join the show. See you on Facebook. And, yeah, Wayne, if you want to talk about something particular coming up for the show, shoot me off a message. I'll try to slide it in, and I got to look into it more because there's some things I just didn't look into. Like I said, I'll fight in the big battle. The big battle is, I don't care, red, blue, whatever, state, whatever. Did Trump win? Good. That's going to stop the hemorrhaging. I didn't worry about, we got these rhinos being elected. I don't care. Stop the hemorrhaging. We'll deal with the other problems later. This is basic triage. But we got a ride coming up. I told you, 2 to 6 years, the Republican Party is going to collapse. 2 to 6 years. And I am seldom wrong. Why? Because I don't make predictions unless I'm pretty sure. It says, will do. What's going on in Pennsylvania is insane. Yeah, go ahead and you got to remind me because I forget. Shoot me off a message. And I'll try to get to it. I'll look into it specifically to see what's going on in Pennsylvania. Yeah. But, again, thank you. Sorry, the bullet points took damn near the whole show this time. They don't usually. Donna, we'll blame Donna. She got me sidetracked too often. There was quite a bit of them. I'm going to get off the show and I'm going to practice my haka dance. It's like, I could probably do it pretty well, but I know it's all theater. It's all stupid. I see somebody try to pull that shit in front of me, I'll just lay him out. Get out of here. Like the guy at the airport. Oh, he's showing his son the pride, and it's like, look, if you're doing a haka dance in an airport because your son's coming out, it's a look at me. You're attention whore. Just stand there, shut up, and give him a hug when he comes out. Other than that, you're just showing, look at me, woohoo. Judy says we always blame Don. No, it is her fault. No, not really. Sort of. She got me distracted. But, yeah, I had a lot more bullet points than usual, and they had more than one facet to the point. But, yeah, I think I'll give him a haka dance, the cowboy haka dance. It's like when they stick their tongue out like that. You just right underneath the jaw, pow, and have them bite their tongue off. How do you like that? It's the berserkers in ballet mixed together, just dancing berserkers, but they're not doing anything. And they lost. When the Europeans came up. They lost. Just deal with it. Stop it. Just integrate. Be decent people. They're Stone Age people. They got. Oh, you want to talk about? Go look into Maoris in New Zealand. Look at the problems they got. It's like what we see on reservations here, but on steroids. Really bad problems. They don't need to be flexing anything. Take care of your problems. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, again, thank you all for joining the show. See you Wednesday. Hopefully, God willing. Wednesday will be the next show. See you online tomorrow bright and early. I'll be putting out more content. And then hopefully we'll have a better week than this last week. This last week was pretty stressful. Wayne says good night, everybody. Hey, and thanks for stopping in again, Wayne. I'll look into Pennsylvania. You got to send me a message. I got to put it on my list. And Judy, Jacqueline, everybody else. I don't know who the hell's left. I think it's just Wayne and Judy now. It shows two people. But everybody else, thank you for joining the show. See you online. Yeah, unless I have another formaldehyde headache. Yeah, I thought it was just standard fall barometer migraines. Could have been a combination of the two. Probably was. Probably a combination of the two. I was like, oh my God. Who'd have thought? I ain't never had that happen in my life. Just weird. Just weird. Okay, stop it, Wayne. Wayne, you get me going. Stop it. Hush. Wayne's like, no. Hey, did you see these new gas masks? Wayne, stop. Stop it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, again. So, yes, that's that. God bless and take care.